Start a store from a 180 square foot space without ever managing a single piece of inventory and grow it into a globally successful business, shipped from wherever in the world makes the most sense for each individual order. That's genuinely how one founder built his business. No warehouse, no boxes stacked in a garage, just designs, uploaded online, printed only when someone actually buys them. Today we're breaking down exactly how a print-on-demand business actually works, using real founder stories and real numbers, from people who built this from literally nothing. Here's how it actually started for one founder named Adam Singer. He built a store called Adam's Nest, an LGBTQIA-owned business, out of a genuinely tiny physical space in Provincetown, just 180 square feet. But here's the part that actually matters. That small physical footprint never limited how big the business could become. Because he never had to store a single product himself. Every single item only gets printed the moment a customer actually orders it. He describes his own advantage simply: being smart about exactly where each order gets fulfilled, for the fastest turnaround time and the best possible customer experience, without ever touching the inventory himself. Here's what makes this specific business model genuinely different from almost every other kind of business you could start. In traditional retail, you buy inventory up front, hoping it sells, and if it doesn't, that money is just sitting on a shelf, slowly losing value. Print-on-demand flips that entire risk structure. You design something once, list it online, and a product only gets manufactured and shipped after a real customer has already paid for it. That single shift removes storage costs, removes the risk of dead stock nobody wants, and removes the massive upfront capital that traditional retail businesses require before they've made a single sale. Here's how the actual money breaks down once someone gets moving, based on real numbers across this industry. Most sellers keep a net profit of $3 to $8 per shirt after core costs, while stronger, more established brands often target 30 to 50% profit margins overall. T-shirt margins specifically can range anywhere from 10 to 50%, depending on your niche, your pricing, and how well you understand your specific audience. Many beginners start by earning just a few $100s a month in their first few months. With consistent testing and marketing, some sellers scale to $1,000, $5,000, and considerably higher, month over month, as they figure out what's actually working. Here's a detail about scale that surprises a lot of people once they understand how this industry is genuinely structured today. Higher-tier sellers running this as a real, established business typically see monthly revenue somewhere between $5,000 and $20,000 or more, with profit margins in that same 30 to 50% range, and often higher once digital products get added into the mix. Some successful print-on-demand brands have grown into seven-figure annual revenue businesses, built specifically on strategic partnerships and a genuinely deep understanding of digital marketing rather than any secret about the physical products themselves. Here's a specific strategy worth understanding, because it's genuinely one of the biggest margin multipliers available to sellers in this space right now. Physical print-on-demand products typically yield 35 to 50% margins, but digital products, downloadable design files, templates, that same underlying design can be sold in, yield margins close to 100%, because there's no manufacturing or shipping cost involved at all. A single design that earns $6 as a t-shirt royalty through a marketplace can earn $8 to $15 sold as a shirt through your own store, and another $5 to $10 sold separately as a downloadable file. Same original design, sold multiple ways, multiple times to different segments of the same audience. Here's an honest reality check worth understanding before jumping into this, because most content on this topic skips straight to the exciting revenue numbers. Not every design you upload is going to sell. Typically, only 15 to 25% of designs generate any sales at all, and a small percentage, often just 5 to 10%, ends up generating the overwhelming majority of your actual income. This isn't a business where you upload one design and wait. It's a business built on volume and testing, where the winners genuinely fund the losers, and success comes from consistently producing enough attempts to actually find what resonates with a real audience. Here's why niche focus matters more than most beginners initially expect. Sellers who treat this as a serious business, with real market insight, a clearly defined niche, and genuine attention to industry trends, consistently outperform sellers who simply upload broad, generic designs and hope something sticks. One successful founder specifically advised focusing on lifetime customer value and average order value, rather than obsessing over the return on any single day's advertising spend, because those longer-term numbers matter far more for building something that actually lasts than short-term daily profit ever will. Here's the part that actually separates founders who build something substantial from people who try this for a month and quietly quit. The way your specific business gets structured has a genuinely significant impact on your margins. Running your own store, connected to a fulfillment partner, gives you strong margins and full control over your brand. But the trade-off is that you're responsible for driving 100% of your own traffic yourself. Selling through a built-in marketplace instead trades some of that margin away in exchange for access to an audience that's already actively searching and ready to buy, without you having to build that traffic from scratch. Here's what it actually costs to get started, because this genuinely is one of the lowest barrier businesses available today. There's no single fixed number, because it depends entirely on your specific priorities, but many sellers start with genuinely minimal upfront spending, sometimes close to free beyond basic design tools, since the print-on-demand model itself removes the traditional cost of buying inventory before you've made a single sale. As your store and your understanding of the market grow, you can gradually adjust and increase your spending on marketing and paid advertising, rather than needing a large amount of capital just to open the doors. So here's the actual takeaway. A print-on-demand business isn't a business that requires manufacturing equipment, a warehouse, or thousands of dollars in starting inventory sitting in a garage somewhere. It requires a genuine understanding of a specific niche audience, the discipline to keep testing designs even when most of them don't sell, and treating this like an actual long-term business rather than a lottery ticket you upload once and forget about. The founder behind the real example we walked through today didn't need a large physical space or a warehouse full of products to build something global. He needed 180 square feet, a genuine understanding of his specific audience, and a fulfillment system that let him focus entirely on the parts of the business that actually mattered. Before you go, I'm curious about one thing specifically. Have you ever bought a print-on-demand product yourself? A custom shirt, a mug, anything designed and printed just for you? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'd genuinely love to know.